And so I don't know where you are this morning. I don't know if you have a hard time forgiving yourself or dealing with regrets or dealing with things that you feel like God couldn't ever possibly forgive me of that thing. God couldn't ever, if God really knew what was going on in my heart, if he really knew what was going on in my thoughts, then he wouldn't love me like you are saying. But I'm here to tell you that God does know you. He knew you before he knit you together in your mother's womb. God is outside of time. He's seen the movie. He knows what choices you were going to make with the free will that he's given us, the choice that we have to choose him or choose other things, and the fact that we constantly choose other things over him. He knows that, and he still loves us. He still forgives us. He still wants a relationship with us, so much so that he sent his only son to die for you, to die for me. And I think sometimes we think that he's this angry guy like Zeus up on a cloud waiting to strike us with his holy lightning bolt for that mistake that we made. And we think if I can just run far enough away from this past mistake, if I can put some distance between us, then maybe he'll forget about it. But guys, he already distanced us from our sin. He says that he separated us as far as the east is from the west. He separated us from our sin that far. And you don't have to know much about maps to know that they go in the opposite direction. And we live on a globe, and so eventually east meets west when you go that direction. But God isn't on the globe. God is outside of time and space, and that east and west goes forever in straight in this direction. And so that means forever separated. And God, when we are forgiven of our sins, he remembers them no more. And so then when we carry around that guilt, that regret, when we carry around these things that we have trouble letting go of, guess what? God already let go of it a long time ago. It's kind of like my daughter, Lila, and my son, PJ, right now. Lila doesn't want to play with a toy until PJ has it. Anybody who has kids, you're like, yep, I know that very well. And I don't know what the deal is, but Lila will have never seen this toy for like weeks and weeks and weeks. It's been right there. But then the moment that PJ picks it up, she goes, hey, that's mine. And immediately wants to take it from him and do these things. And yet, and you're like, oh my gosh, like if you would just go play with these other things, like you could be happy, you could do all these things, but no, she wants that one right there. And I think a lot of us, we are holding on to this regret. We're holding on to this past guilt. We're holding on to this one thing that we're so ashamed that we did way back when. And we're like, this is mine. And God's like, no, I have better things for you. I have all these other things that could make you happier if you would just let this thing go. And yet we're like, no, this is the thing I want. And I can't even imagine. I get frustrated with my kids when I'm just like, if you would just get it, if you would just understand this thing. It's so simple, but you're small, you're little, you're too little to understand this thing. And that's how God is with us. I can't imagine this frustration of going, I have so many better things for you. You don't need to carry that. I already separated you from that. Why are you picking that up again?